What if you played Pokemon Emerald, but every battle is a double battle? This is Pokemon Emerald Coliseum, a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald made by Drxx. This ROM hack takes a lot of inspiration from Pokemon Coliseum and XD, as every battle is a double battle. Not only that, but the bosses of the game also have increased difficulty to the point where the boss trainers wield uber legendary tiered Pokemon. Additionally, this game has a lot of quality of life updates like newer gen moves, the physical special split, and the fairy type, but don't expect any shadow Pokemon anytime soon. I play a lot of VGC and have hundreds of hours into it, so I was intrigued when I saw this ROM hack as double battles are a lot more complex than single battles, so I decided to hardcore nuzlocke it. The rules are on the screen now. Additionally, I banned legendary Pokemon, mythical Pokemon, and pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Every Pokemon from Gens 1 to 3 are available to catch in this game. You can literally get a Celebi as soon as you beat the first gym. I also banned Pokemon like Blissey and Shedinja for this run, because they trivialized the game a bit too much. Now anyways, let's get how I beat Emerald Coliseum on my first attempt as a hardcore Nuzlocke. Here we go. Now for what you pick for your starter doesn't really matter, however I always recommend picking Swampert as you don't really fight many grass types in Hoenn, and it's a bulky water type with a great defensive typing. Blaziken also isn't a bad choice either, however I do not recommend picking Trico. In this hack, because of the physical special split exists, Sceptile actually gets worse as it barely gets any special moves besides Leaf Storm, which has the drawback of lowering your special attack by 2 stages, but Sceptile gets mostly physical moves, and Sceptile initially was made to be a special attacker, so it isn't ideal here. So that's why I picked it. Insult to injury, it's a calm nature which lowers my attack. Now as we fight the 6th Zagoon, we actually get a second Pokemon in Eevee. This game starts you off with 2 Pokemon since every battle is a double battle, but afterwards we can fight May, who also has an Eevee. I use Lure to lower my opponent's defenses, then attack with Eevee, and we're able to win. But now that we can get Pokeballs, we can finally get our encounters. In this ROM hack, even wild battles can be double battles for the most part. The good part about this is that you can choose which Pokemon you want if they're different encounters, but here mine are the exact same, so I ended up getting this Poochyena regardless. On Route 102, I can catch this Wurmple, and then heading to Petalburg, we can help Wally catch a Pokemon, but then this happens. On Route 104, I catch a Meryl, which is a fairy type now, and then my game crashes because I got the bad egg for whatever reason. So I then reset to where I was, and I even get the same encounter, so nothing significant really changes except Wally's Ralt is not shiny. In Petalburg Woods, I catch a Caterpie. Route 106, I catch a Nidoran female, and I catch a Clefairy in Rusturf Tunnel. Now we fight Roxanne, and her team isn't really threatening. However, her Lilip has Rock Slide, which is super powerful this early in the game, and her Omanyte has Ancient Power, and it's terrifying if it gets the Omni boost, and you're not guaranteed any counters for it, unless you pick Trico. I start off by beating Roxanne's Geodude while protecting Butterfree baiting a Rock Tomb, but Lilip goes for Rock Slide. Her Ace Nose Pass comes out, and I switch Butterfree for Nidoran to tank a Rock Tomb while Trico procs Nose Pass is sturdy. Lilip uses Rock Slide again, but it misses Nidoran. Now the next turn I can take out the Nose Pass while do a bit of damage to Lilip with Double Kick, and her Omanyte comes out. Fearing of a critical hit, I switch Nidoran for Meryl while Trico one-shots Omanyte. Lilip goes for Bullet Seed on Trico, doing minimal damage. From there, Trico and Meryl can take out the Lilip, winning us our first gym badge. After some weird bullshit, May asks us to battle, which I declined, but she decides she wants to trash talk us, so you better believe she's about to receive the smoke. Realistically, you shouldn't wipe to this fight ever because it's optional, but regardless of whether you fight her here or not, she will be your first opponent who actually has a full team of 6. But we can head up to Dewford Town to get some encounters. We fish up the Tentacle and the God of Nuzlocks, Magikarp. Meanwhile, in Granite Cave, we can get a Zubat, which isn't good right now, but will be crazy later on. Now we fight Brawly, and this fight on paper looks hard because his team is absolutely stacked with strong Pokemon, but in practice it's really easy. You can get so many options to counter this fight, whether it be a bird, a bug, a fairy, or even all three, and since the level cap is 20, you can get a Gyarados for this fight, making it even easier. When facing Brawly, Butterfree takes out the Hitmontop, the Heracross, the Sleeping Meditite, and the Breloom with Gust, and it somehow lives on 1 HP when hit by Poliwrath's Water Pulse. From there, I can switch out to Grovyle and one-shot it with Mega Drain, giving us our second gym badge. On Route 110, we have the Infamous May battle, and this is the first fight that's actually a challenge. Her leads are Shedinja and Jolteon. Whichever starter you pick dictates which Kanto evolution she will have, and she has Jolteon to cover for her Combusken's water weakness. However, Mightyena and Dustox are able to beat most of her team, but by the time Combusken comes out, I have to switch into Azumarill and Gyarados to pick up the remaining KOs. Speaking of evolutions, if you talk to this woman in Dewford, she gives you every stone Eevee can evolve with, including a Sunstone and a Moonstone. I think most of the evolutions are great, but I'll go over later in the video which one is the best one to pick in my opinion. We can go to Mauville City and head to Route 117 to pick up this Ekans. Wally is blocking the gym, so we have to humiliate him, just like how I humiliate myself every day. Now, Watson's difficulty really depends on what Pokemon you have. If you have a ground type of some sort, this fight is easy, especially since you can buy Earthquake here. But if you don't have a ground type, this fight can be a run killer. If you look at his team, it looks deadly, especially since the Magneton can hit you with a Flash Cannon. Additionally, the Raichu has moves like Volt Tackle and Focus Punch, and the Ampharos has Hyper Beam, which can one-shot a lot of Pokemon this point in the game. But thankfully, because of the Nidoran I caught earlier, I can evolve it into a Nidoqueen for this gym. I also decided to bring Gyarados and Arbok too, because Gyarados can bait electric types into hitting it, while I can just click Protect to block it. And Arbok has access to Earthquake too, which makes it somewhat useful for this gym. I fight Watson, he leads Manectric Magneton while I lead Gyarados Nidoqueen. I protect the Gyarados and both of Watson's leads go out. He then sends out Raichu and Lantern. I send out Dustox to set up a light screen, but both of Lantern and Raichu's attacks only leave Dustox at 2 HP. I decide to and switch into Mightyena to intimidate Raichu while I go for Earthquake. Surprisingly, Raichu goes for Focus Punch, but I take out the Raichu and leave Lantern with low health, and its Thunder misses Mightyena. Jolteon comes out and I protect Mightyena while Watson heals up with a Super Potion. Earthquake can take out the Lantern, but not the Jolteon. Watson finally sends out his ace Ampharos. Watson heals up Jolteon while I go for a Snarl because of the special attack drop. Ampharos' Thunder does not kill Mightyena. The next turn I'm able to click Earthquake and take out the Jolteon, but Ampharos lives and uses a Hyper Beam on Nidoqueen. Assuming Ampharos needs to recharge the next turn, I go for Helping Hand Assurance, but then this happens. Damn. Wait! Hyper Beam isn't a recharge move? What? But yeah, we're able to take Ampharos out and get our third gym badge. I still don't know how Ampharos shot out 2 Hyper Beams in a row without needing to recharge, so if anyone knows why that happened, I'd really appreciate it. But after beating Watson, we can use Rock Smash, and I felt confident after beating Watson, so I decided to fight the Windstraits, but Grandma humbled me real quick. Oh my damn. Come on, live. Damn, we're that's our first step. Yeah, it sucks losing a Pokemon like that, but it is what it is. Anyway, on Route 112, I catch a Nubble, and Fiery Path, I catch a Torkoal. On Route 113, Encounter explodes. On Route 114, I catch a Lotad I plan to use for Flannery. In Meteor Falls, I try to catch the Solrock, but I accidentally run from it. No! But later, we detour to Mount Chimney to fight Maxie. He leads Crabapple and Houndoom while I lead Gyarados and Manectric. I predict Gyarados while I stupidly go for discharge to fish for paralysis, but not only do I not get paralysis on either Pokemon, but they double up on Manectric and it dies. Bullshit. I switch to Nidoqueen to use Earthquake and Aqua Tail, but to my surprise, Maxie switches to Crobat for Claydol and Aqua Tail misses. The next turn I use Helping Hand on Gyarados for Aqua Tail for the guaranteed KO on Claydol. Maxie then sends out Rhydon. Gyarados is dead to crit or even poisoned by Sludge Bomb, so I'll click Protect and go for Earthquake, but does nothing to Rhydon while Rhydon goes for a Rock Slide. Because I think Rhydon will go for Rock Slide again, I switch the camera, but Rhydon goes for Earthquake, and that absolutely annihilates Camerupt. But the Rock Smash we hit gets the defense drop. I switch in a Crobat and I Protect with Nidoqueen. Wing Attack doesn't pick up the KO and Rock Slide does a ton, but the next turn I can finally take out Maxie's Crobat and Nidoqueen can take out the Rhydon with Earthquake. Maxie's final two Pokemon are Camerupt and Aggron. Because Crobat doesn't have Protect, my only option is to switch to Gyarados to intimidate the Pokemon, but Maxie doubles up on slot 1 and takes out the Gyarados, unfortunately. From there, Nidoqueen can Earthquake their Pokemon and we get the win, but I do not feel like a winner. If I had Protect on Crobat, there is a chance Gyarados could have lived there, but there is also a good chance the AI could have targeted Nidoqueen. This fight made me realize that I need Protect on all of my Pokemon no matter what. But not only did I lose half of my team, but I lost my main counter to Flannery, so in the Jagged Pass I picked up a Spoink, which wasn't actually a bad encounter since it had thick fat, but once we hit the Law Bridge we can fight Flannery. My strategy here was to set up Rain and then sweep with Swift Swim Ludicolo. I fake out the camera up while Ludicolo takes an aerial ace from Charizard as Tentacruel sets up Rain. Wait, what? So it turns out this Ludicolo has Rain Dish instead of Swift Swim, so it can't even outpace Charizard. But a Rain boosted Brian can't even take out Charizard, and Zard takes out Ludicolo while Camerupt sets up the Sun. I click Protect on Tentacruel while Azumarill sets up the Rain again, and Tentacruel can take out the Charizard while Azumarill can take out the Camerupt. Flannery then sends out Typhlosion and Solrock. Because I practically knew Tenta wasn't going to take out Typhlosion, I instead took out the Solrock, but Typhlosion sets up the Sun before Azumarill is able to attack. Her Rapidash comes out and I set up the Rain with Tentacruel this time, while Rapidash is forced to now use a 2-turn Solar Beam, but Typhlosion's Thunder Punch does a significant amount to Tentacruel, but Azumarill OHKOs the Rapidash. Her final Pokemon is Arcanine, and I Protect Henna to scout to see if Arcanine has a move like Wild Charge, but it sets up Howl and Azu takes out Typhlosion. I then try to KO Arcanine with a Helping Hand boosted Brine, but RKO's Tentacruel with extreme speed. Great. However, a Helping Hand boosted Aqua Tail under the Rain is able to KO it even after the Intimidate drop, and I get our 4th gym badge. Norman is up next and his team is scary with Giga Impact Slacking. Because a recharge turn also works as a truant turn, this move has essentially no drawbacks at all. Other threats include Smeargle with Spore and Endeavor, which can be scary if you put it to low HP. There's also the likes of Snorlax and Porygon 2 with a Star Fairy, which boosts any random stat by 2 stages if it reaches under 25% health. But before then, I hit to Route 111 and get a Trap Pinch, which was a phenomenal encounter. In Mirage Tower, I pick up a Sandshrew, and I pick up the Claw Fossil and revive it to Anorith at Rushboro City. But unfortunately, while I was fighting the gym trainers, this happened. Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, it's not like that Zangoose set up 3 Swords Dance, by the way. But now we fight Norman. My strategy here was to play conservatively in 2v1 slot 2 while I let Slacking sit there. Flygon doesn't take out Smeargle, and Endeavor leaves Azumarill on red HP, but we take it out. I also double up on Blissey, but I was shocked to find out that Blissey is faster than Azumarill. Azumarill barely survives and takes out Blissey. P2 comes out next, and I need to switch out Azumarill, and because Smeargle set up Stealth Rock earlier, Azumarill is practically out for this battle. I sent out Arbok as a sack, and thankfully the sack worked out since Flygon took no damage. However, Porygon 2's Starf Berry activates, but luckily it's only attack. I send out Torkoal next turn, and I take out P2 while I set up an Iron Defense. His Ace Snorlax comes out now, and this is when I finally start attacking the Slacking. However, Snorlax does half to Flygon with Body Slam. The next turn I go for Lava Plume to fish for a burn. I protect the Flygon while I hit the Lava Plume. I don't burn Slacking, but I do burn the Snorlax, which is objectively better, because that means Snorlax can't KO Flygon the next turn. The double up is able to take out Snorlax, and his final Pokemon is Zangoose. Zangoose sees the kill in Flygon, so I click Protect and ship Slacking away. I then switch out Flygon for Armaldo, but because this Torkoal is an adamant nature, Flamethrower doesn't take out the Slacking, and Zangoose sets up a Swords Dance. I click Protect on Armaldo, and because I set up Iron Defense earlier, Close Combat doesn't KO Torkoal, and Lava Plume takes out Slacking and burns the Zangoose. From there, I click Protect on Torkoal and beat Zangoose with Armaldo, getting us our 5th gym badge. I'm so happy I won this fight, since this was the fight that I had the most chance to wipe against. But now that we have Surf, we can explore Hoenn now. But before we move on with the video,
what is up, my gamers? Now, you all know why I'm here. I'm basically obligated to ask you to subscribe to the channel, as we're close to 1,500 subscribers. And even though I don't do Nuzlocke content, I do, however, make Pokemon commentary videos, and I have a full playlist of them you can check out right after this video if you're new to the channel. Also, if you're wondering why I sound so dead in this video, well, long story short, I spent 2 to 3 hours doing voiceovers immediately after writing the script for this video, which took 4 to 5 hours to do in a single night, which drained me mentally and physically. So yeah, you better subscribe, and yeah, let's get back to the video.
now that I have Surf, I make detours, but while I was surfing, this shiny tentacle shows up, and once again, I'm reminded of my failures.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
I had a tentacle. It wasn't shiny. That tentacle ended up dying.
I go to New Mauville and catch this Voltorb, which is good for the next gym. On Route 118, I catch a Zigzagoon, and Route 119, I catch a Kangaskhan. Nothing really happens in the Weather Institute besides this Aqua Admin, which is a pretty tough fight, and their Manectric kills my Linoone with a crit, but we're able to beat the Admin. And there's this rival fight, but the only Pokemon I struggled against was the Blaziken and the Swift Swim Ludicolo that has Growl and Astonish. Like, why does it have those moves? But anyway, we get to go to Fortree City and fight Winona. Now, in my opinion, the best evolution in this game is Jolteon, as electric types in this game are rare, and you fight a lot of bulky water types later in the game. It's a great encounter to Winona, who is kind of a pushover. Here's her team, by the way. Only threatening thing is the Aerodactyl that has Earthquake, which can do big damage to most electric types, which is why Jolteon is a great option, as chances are you can outspeed the Aerodactyl and KO it. However, I can do something similar with Electrode. How? Well, just watch and see. Winona leads Arrow and Xatu, while I lead Altaria and Electrode. I protect Electrode, and Winona tries to double the Electrode slot while Altaria sets up Rain Dance. A 100% accurate Thunder KOs Aerodactyl, and Altaria's Ice Beam does over half on Xatu. Skarmory comes out next, and a Discharge is able to KO Xatu and paralyze the Skarmory. Pelipper comes out, and Thunder obliterates it, and Altaria takes out Skarmory. Her final Pokemon is her own Altaria, and her ace, Pidgeot. Her Altaria has Draco Meteor, so I protect Altaria, anticipating it will drop a Draco on that slot. But for whatever reason, she doubles up on the Electrode slot and it dies. While I send out Armaldo, and Ice Beam somehow doesn't KO her Altaria, while her Pidgeot clicks Roost. and Altaria drops a Draco, but because Altaria is at -2, it does half to my own Cloudbird. I click Protect on Altaria, while her own Altaria clicks Roost, and Pidgeot goes for Brave Bird. But Altaria protects itself, and Armaldo takes out Pidgeot. From there, Altaria takes out her own Altaria, and we get our 6th gym badge. We get to Route 121, and I catch this Shuppet, and after we scale Mount higher, we have to take on Magma Hideout. But before that, I head to Lily Cove and pick up a Wilmer, fight our rival, which was somehow easier than the fight on Route 119. We head to Magma Hideout, and before we can fight the boss, we have to fight the Magma admin. Somehow Crobat can live a Blaze boosted Inferno from Typhlosion, but unfortunately, I lose Armaldo due to underestimating the power of Stone Edge actually hitting. So I have to go all the way back to pick up Armaldo's replacement, which I never even used, but afterwards we can finally fight Maxie. Maxie has the same leads as last time, and I lead Flygon and Espeon. I protect Espeon, and Flygon is able to KO Houndoom with Earthquake. Camerupt comes out, and I double up Crobat, taking it out, and Camerupt goes for Earthquake, doing big damage to Espeon. Rhydon comes out, and I switch out Espeon for Wailord, while protecting Flygon, and Mega Horn does big damage. I then switch to Azumarill, and Wailord uses a Surf to take out Rhydon and Camerupt. Maxie's last 2 Pokemon are Aggron and an Entei. Because Wailord was on low HP, I click Protect while Azumarill does huge damage to Entei. I then protect Azumarill, and Wailord takes out the Entei and almost takes out the Aggron. From there, Azu Surf is able to beat the Aggron, and we're able to win. Now we head to Aqua Hideout and easily take care of it, and we head to Moss Deep City. Now in Vanilla Emerald, Tate and Liza are the hardest gym leaders in this game, and they're even harder in this game. If you look at their team, you notice they have a Latios and a Latios. Both of them carry Draco Meteor, so I really needed to prep for this fight. But for encounters, I am able to get this purple Sharpedo.
What the
Now getting a shiny Pokemon for this gym isn't enough. I also have one other Pokemon up my sleeve, and this is a Pokemon you might be familiar with, and that's Butterfree. In this game, Butterfree has Quiver Dance, which raises your special stats and speed stat by 1 stage. There's a reason why Volcarona is broken. But anyways, time for the fight. Tate and Liza lead Claydol and Slowking, while I lead Butterfree and Sharpedo. I protect Butterfree in case Claydol uses Ancient Power on Butterfree. Crunch doesn't take out the Claydol, and Claydol actually targets Sharpedo with an Earth Power. Sharpedo takes out Claydol, and I finally set up Quiver Dance, but Slowking takes out the Sharpedo. Alakazam comes out, and I send out Bayonet. Bayonet Sucker Punch takes out the Zam, and I set up another Quiver Dance, as I know one won't be enough for the Lottie twins. And Bayonet is able to take a Scold from Slowking. Exeggutor comes out, and Bug Buzz takes it to the Shadow Realm, while Bayonet starts to use Phantom Force. Now the Latios comes out, and Bug Buzz is able to take it out, and the Bayonet can take out the Slowking. And finally, Bayonet and Butterfree can take out the Latios, and we get our 7th gym badge. Now we can head to the Weather Institute and fight the double battle with Steven. Now we can only bring 3 of our 6 Pokemon. The best option is to use bulky water types or ground types into a bunch of fire types. The battle starts, and I set up Rain Dance with Wailord to weaken their fire type attacks. They take out Metagross, which sets a Reflect, but Wailord does big damage with Surf. Steven Scarm takes out Houndoom, and I take out the Typhlosion. Steven protects the Scarm, and I'm able to take out the Arcanine and the Rhydon. Their final Pokemon are Crobat and Entei. I have a Lumberry and Rest to heal up my HP, but they both double up on Wailord, and Entei crits Wailord, taking it out. Note that I had Reflect up and the Rain was up, so if that Sacred Fire didn't crit, I definitely could have lived there. However, I'm able to take out the Entei with 2 Earthquakes, and a final Dragon Claw on Crobat wins us the battle. Now we're on the pursuit of Archie, so we head to the C4 Cavern, but unfortunately, I lose my Kangaskhan to this Magnetric as I try to click Sucker Punch, but this Crobat clicks Quick Guard out of all moves, and Magnetric takes out the Kangaskhan. We'll Anyway, the Archie fight went pretty smooth for the most part. Sceptile sets up the sun as Blossom sets up grassy terrain, but Polytoad unfortunately goes for a rain dance, immediately taking our sun away. Sceptile sets up the sun again while taking one more ice beam from Lantern, and Polytoad goes for Toxin Blossom, but the Lumberry cures it and it takes out the Lantern with Solar Beam. Sceptile is then able to take out Walrein with Leaf Storm, and Blossom takes out Polytoad. I then switch Sceptile for Crobat as a Sucker Punch fails, and I take out Sharpedo. Finally, Archie sends out his Suicune. Crobat takes out the Cacturn with Leech Life, and Blossom somehow can OHKO the Suicune, giving us the victory. Afterwards, the world is kinda f***ed up, so we have to summon Rayquaza to tell Groudon and Kyogre to shut the hell up, but after that's done, we can fight Juan. In this game, Juan is primarily an Ice-type gym leader, especially since he has an Articuno. But what if I told you I beat this gym using only 2 Pokemon? Pokemon I ended up using are Blossom and Charizard. This ROM hack includes Naval Rock, the same place you can get Ho-Oh and Lugia, and in the cave you can get the Kanto and Johto starters. But you're still wondering how I actually beat Juan with 2 Pokemon. Well, Blossom actually has access to Quiver Dance by Heart Scale, and Charizard can easily set up the sun for it. Now let's see how this plays out. Juan leads with Piloswine and Lapras, while I lead with Charizard and Blossom. I set up the sun with Zard, and both of their Pokemon try to attack Blossom but fail. I'm able to set up a Quiver Dance, and Zard takes out the Piloswine and Blossom takes an Ice Beam. I then am able to take out the Lapras, but to my surprise, Jinx is faster than Charizard, but instead goes for Charizard instead of Blossom with Ice Beam. Nothing really happens, so we take it out with Flamethrower. Turns out my Charizard is a minus speed nature, but Blossom can take out Walrein, and Charizard can take out Cloyster, and Juan's final Pokemon, Articuno, can be taken out by Charizard, giving us all 8 gym badges of Hoenn. From there, we can head to Victory Road. Wally is still a joke, and the only Pokemon that's actually worth mentioning on his team are the Gardevoir and the Tyranitar. But believe it or not, some of these trainers are references to actual boss fights from Pokemon XD, which I thought was pretty neat. It's Mirror B. Oh, this is great. The only things worth mentioning from Victory Road are that this trainer literally has a stall team with a Shadow Tag Wobbuffet, which took a lot to maneuver, and this guy who literally has a full team of Intimidate Pokemon. But we were able to persevere with no deaths, even, and we're finally at the Pokemon League. Now, I theorycraft a lot on what my team would be, and most of the reserves I have aren't good options for this Elite Four, but I was able to come up with 6 Pokemon that might be able to persevere. First off, we have Goku the Primeape. This is here since it can generate pretty decent matchups into Elite Four, and this was the only fighting type I actually had. Next, we have Goku the Crobat. I didn't want Gyarados' death to be in vain, so I'm proving to myself that I didn't make the wrong decision to sack Gyarados instead of Crobat. Third, we have Goku the Azumarill. How is he not dead yet? Azumarill was close to dying a lot, but huge power and the fairy typing is something I just can't pass up. Fourth, we have Goku the Blossom. Quiver Dance is broken, huh? Fifth, we have Goku the Clefable. I wanted to preserve Clefairy as long as I could, and Clefable is good for this Elite Four with its fairy typing and its godly coverage. And finally, we have Goku the Flygon. Flygon is a Pokemon that carried us through most of this game, and with its access to Dragon Dance, it's going to be even more of a threat. With that, the team is complete, and let's finally beat Emerald Coliseum. Cini is up first, and Crobat and Primeape are able to run through most of his team until he sends out Umbreon and Regirock. I switch to Azu and bulk up in order to tank what Regirock has. I go for a +1 close combat, but because my Primeape is a modest nature, it barely KOs. But Foul Play and Rock Slide almost KO Primeape. I click protect on Ape so that Azumarill is able to take out the Regirock. From there, I'm able to switch to Crobat and take out the Umbreon, beating Cindy. Phoebe is up next and I double up on her Bayonet and Gengar, taking them out. But the Dusclops gets a Spadef drop on Flygon, which isn't optimal. Shedinja comes out next and I go for the KO, but it lives because of the Focus Band. Meanwhile, Flygon sets up a Dragon Dance and Dusclops attacks Crobat with Shadow Ball. The next turn, Crobat takes out Shedinja and Earthquake leaves Dusclops on the red, but Shadow Ball does bigger damage to Flygon because of the Spadef drop. She sends out a Registeel, which I switch to Primeape while Crobat takes out Dusclops. Her final Pokemon is a Sableye. I protect Primeape as both of her Pokemon target it with Seismic Toss and I send out Azu safely. I switch into Clefable to take 2 Seismic Tosses, while Azu can beat Sableye with Play Rough. Azumarill is then able to 1v1 the Registeel, giving us the win. Next is Glacia. I protect Bellossom while I set up a Sunny Day with Primeape. I set up a Quiver Dance while Primeape Brick breaks Glalie, but it doesn't kill. Luckily, Glalie only sets up Spikes. I'm able to knock both Pokemon the following turn though. In the next turn, Bellossom one-shots Piloswine with Solar Beam, and Primeape is able to outspeed Jinx and KO it with Close Combat. Her final Pokemon are Lapras and Regice. I decide to switch Primeape in case Regice hit it with a crit Ice Beam. Bellossom can KO Lapras and can live an Ice Beam from Regice. Regice hits a Thunderbolt and unfortunately paralyzes us, but I'm able to set up a Calm Mind. Switch out Bellossom for Azumarill and Ice Beam crits Clefable, but we're able to live and do minor damage with Flamethrower. I switch Clef for Ape, but Regice targets Azumarill, but is able to dodge the critical hit Thunderbolt and do big damage with Brick Break. From there, Primeape is able to beat Regice, giving us the dub. Finally is Drake. The battle starts off with Altaria subbing and Kingdra flinching Azu with Waterfall, but Clefable sets up a Calm Mind. Kingdra then clicks the Dragon Dance, but Azu takes it out and Clefable breaks Altaria's sub. Altaria isn't really a threat, so I proceed to only target the right side, taking out Dragonite, Flygon, Salamence, and even the almighty Rayquaza with Ice Beam. And because Altaria's only attacking move is Dragon Claw, it can't even touch us, so we're able to Ice Beam it and get the dub. From there on out, I want to leave the champion battle uncommentated. However, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. This might be one of the longest videos ever, so if you enjoyed it, why not subscribe? But anyways, enough talking. Time for Wallace.
Alright everybody, Super Mean Bros versus Wallace. Okay. Suicune, Electrode. So here's what I'm going to do. Sunny Day, Quiver Dance. Okay. No burn. Okay. Calm Mind. Let's hit him with the Solar Beam. Kamehameha! Alright, Suicune is down. Wait. Okay. Electro went for taunt, but that means we can't go for a Quiver Dance. But it's fine. Ludicolo. I don't like Ludicolo. Solar Beam is Electrode. Volt Switch. Oh shit. Oh no! Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's go for a Giga Drain. Oh, we should have gone for Solar Beam. Okay. Okay. Is the taunt gone? Okay, the taunt is gone. I just hope Kingdra goes for Clefable. Shit. This is not good, boys. Electrode. Alright, protect. I'm gonna click protect here, right? Alright, I actually want to switch into Flygon. And here's why. So, Electrode, I feel like wants to go. Yep. Stone Edge. Oh my god. His Wallace's last Pokemon. Kyogre. Sunny Day. I'm gonna protect. It's fine. It's fine. Good riddance to this Electro, dude. Sunny Day. We got the sun up. Kyogre is a lot. Well, he's dead. Flygon, you were awesome in this run, buddy. Close combat, Sludge Bomb. We might have to start Leech Lifing. Kyogre still has a Citrus Berry, though. Nice! Okay. Leech Life? Guess what, Wallace? You lost to someone who gets no bitches. How does that feel? That is Emerald Coliseum. First attempt, by the way. First attempt. We did it, boys. We did it. We did it. Our first attempt.
Now, we finally beat Emerald Coliseum. Thank you for watching this vid. However, in Pokemon Emerald, the true final boss is Steven Stone. The battle starts as I miss Heat Wave on Skarm, and Claydol hits Zard with an Ancient Power and gets an Omni boost. I ultimately sack Zard, and our Sandslash is at +4 attack. Azu comes in and hits a Waterfall, but because of the Omni boost, Claydol lives. However, the next turn I protect with Azumarill and take out Claydol with Sandslash. The next turn I switch Azumarill to Bayonet and Sandslash KOs Cradily with a +4 Brick Break. Steven's fourth Pokemon is a Jirachi, so I protect Sandslash while Bayonet goes for a Phantom Force. I go for the double protect and I actually get it, only for Jirachi to click protect itself, but Phantom Force breaks the protection, hitting it for massive damage. From there, Sucker Punch is able to KO Jirachi, and Brick Break does half to Skarm while Sandslash can take one more Steel Wing. Steven then sends out Metagross, and then I protect Sandslash and Phantom Force again. This time, I'm able to take out Skarmory, and Phantom Force does more than half to Metagross as Meteor Mash one-shots Bayonet. I send out Primeape now, and I click Protect as Earthquake KOs Metagross in leaving Aggron with 1 HP due to Sturdy. However, Aggron goes for Primeape. From there, Primeape can beat Aggron with a close combat, giving us the win and making us the ultimate champion of Pokemon Emerald Coliseum. Well, that was quite the long video, I'd say. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, cause this took a long time to make. Also, make sure to also like the video, join the Discord server, and comment down below what was your favorite fight to watch in this video. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.